The message for today is a very special message for myself, actually. And that's to finish what you start. Finish what you started. I have a long history, like many of you, starting something, embarking on a journey that I was so hyped about. Momentum wears off, and so does my action. And as somebody who loves to create, who loves to produce, who loves to be productive and watch them numbers grow, I simply cannot tolerate starting something and not finishing it. Are some things worth quitting? Of course. You will have those relationships that, for whatever reason, isn't worth continuing. I understand that. So you finish it. It finishes there. That doesn't mean you just ride it out until you die. You finish it. You put a head to it. You complete it. So a couple things. And I will be, writing about this in my journal, talking about finishing what I started. You may have heard me speak on how I was working on a new book. And link in the description if you want to check out any of my books. You can read them for free if you got Kindle Unlimited, aka Amazon Prime. But my books are inexpensive. I talked about scrapping my new book. And at one point last year or so, I I thought of this book to be the most the most cutthroat of them all, the most hard hitting, the most raw. And for the life of me, I can't seem to sit down and finish what I started. I've done a great deal of the groundwork, and I have just a good enough word count for me to not even have to add anything. And I'm sure if I really tried, I could add something else to it. I could add more to it. But the thing is, I need to actually just go through and read. Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got. But I keep putting it off, incomplete. Oh yeah, let me see if I can go to the next one. Let me actually start working on fiction right now. No, let me finish what I started. Or when I look myself in the mirror, even though I got on the scale a couple days ago and I weighed the most I've ever weighed, which is goals for me. It's what I want. But I look myself in the mirror and I say, I don't really look that different. I ain't really make no gains. I did all this working out and I don't look any different. Do it anyway. You know what happens with consistency. Just do it anyway. Just keep doing it. You know? Or my YouTube channel. Although I lucked up, reported on something that a lot of people were just searching for at that time. Other than that, channel's not moving that fast. I said, I'm putting out video after video, and I just not really getting the traffic, not really getting the subscribers. Now, that's not 100% what I do it for, but I do want a big audience. I'm sure there are a lot more people out here in this world who would love to get this unbiased, or sometimes it is biased. Who cares? But get this raw delivery of a channel. Somebody who's not going to tell you what you want to hear, somebody who's not going to lie to you, who's not going to really try to sell anything to you. But I mean, obviously, there's no harm in selling. But I'm not going to try to bait you all in to hear what I have to say just so you can buy something from me. I'm going to give you everything that I have to offer. And you decide if you want to support me or not. But, and the conversation isn't as, the conversation of me, putting this on the back burner isn't as strong as it was when I was trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, just so YouTube can give me a couple pennies, you know. But even still, you know, I must keep adding to this. I must keep adding to my legacy. We must keep adding to our legacies. Why? Now, I can't tell you your why, but legacy is extremely important to me. It's imperative that I keep growing, that I keep expanding, that I keep adding to my resume and my repertoire. It's not enough for me to have some couple highlights, 15 minutes of fame or something like that. I never know when it's going to be my last day. I never know when I won't be able to do the things that I'm doing now. And so until then, I have to take advantage and not for granted these opportunities and the time that has been afforded for me. I really need to hear myself say these things. Because although I have a bit of ambition, it's a very fleeting thing. Sometimes, really, a great deal of the time, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. And it just shows how much privilege I have where I could really get away with doing nothing for a little while. And this is how I get in trouble. I get comfortable when I have things working for me. And I really need to apply a little pressure to myself. I need to exhaust myself like a lot of these hard-working people in this world are. And I should not be exempt from that just because I can afford to relax. Come on now. This is easy. This is easy stuff. No matter what I put on my to-do list, it's easy compared to my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? They ain't have an option, but I do. Look at me. So free that I will put myself in a slavery. I will enslave myself by not taking on these powerful options that have been afforded to me by people who have come before me, and even by myself. You know, and the people in my life right now also. You know, making life easier for me. And I gotta repay them, and I gotta repay myself also by doing more than the bare minimum. All right, these sacrifices have to be made. Everybody's making sacrifices all across the board, and I have to make them in my own regard, especially if I want to stay free of contributing to a system that does not favor me. All right, it's because I am much more than a nut and bolt, and you are too. No matter the decisions that you make. And so with that being said, I'm going to get to this journal, meditate on finishing what I started. All right, best wishes.